9:05 a.m. I am Bill Sunderland, Vice Chair of Buffalo Water Board. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get the meeting started. As we do with every meeting, we have a public comment period. So if there is somebody that is either in person or online virtual, if you would like to speak during that period of time, you can either come off mute or raise your hand in the chat. We will acknowledge you and you can have a few minutes to speak your mind. So at this time, I am going to turn the kind of housekeeping over to Connor, who will go through and do roll call also.
Good morning, everyone. This is Connor Benny with GHD. I'd like to wish a warm welcome to everybody at today's meeting. Start things off, I'd like to introduce a couple of housekeeping measures. So to reduce the amount of background noise, we kindly ask you to stay muted until you're ready to speak. And at the time you're ready to speak, please state your name and affiliation for the record. At this time, I'll begin taking the roll call, starting with the board members. After I say your name, please say here or present. I'd like to start with Bill Sunderland.
Present.
Debbie Lombardo.
Present.
Scott Billman.
Present.
Bill Hanley.
Present.
And Tim Donovan.
Present.
I'll now move on to the regular attendees, starting with Peter Merlot,
Present.
Jack McMahon,
Present.
Charlie Martirano,
Present.
Damon Sykes,
Present.
David Hill,
Present.
Kelly Lee,
Okay.
you Adam,
Present.
Bill Ferguson,
Present.
Lisa Fode,
Present.
Nate Martin,
Present.
Stephen Waldvogel,
Present.
Dustin Steiner,
Present.
Dean Wingo,
Present.
Pat Thornton,
Present.
Jordan Brando.
Present.
And at this time, if there's anybody I missed, if you could state your name and affiliation for the record, I'd appreciate that. I think we're all good, so I'll pass it back to Mr. Sunderland.
All right, thank you, Connor. All right, board, if you will look at the agenda as we have, got that up on the board. There you go. The agenda that we have up there, if there's any additions, subtractions, modifications, to that, we can denote those at this time. I have one that we're gonna add, put it under claims, item 5A, which is the Central Terminal Permanent Easement Resolution. And then also under the monthly report from Veolia Water, we're gonna have a executive session, so if you would also denote that. And if there's any other additions or subtractions, please let me know. Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Hanley, the agenda is presented.
Billman second. Been properly moved and second, for the modifications to the agenda. All in favor?
Hanley, aye.
Billman aye.
Lombardo, aye.
Sunderland, aye. Okay, the agenda has been approved. All right, board, if you would look at the meeting minutes from June 11th and take a look at those. If there's any modifications or changes, you can denote those at this time. Is there a motion to approve the June 11th, 2025 board meeting minutes?
To approve the minutes from June 11th. Bill in second.
Been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Bill and I.
Lombardo, aye.
Hanley, aye. Sunderland, aye. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to item number 3, the public comment period. As I previously stated, if there is any members of the public that are online, or present in the room, which I don't see any, if you would like to, a few minutes to speak on any item here, please come off mute or raise your hand in the chat. We will acknowledge you and you can, a few minutes to see what you have to say. Is there anybody? All right, we're gonna move on to, item number 4, the staffing update. Peter or Dave?
Unfortunately, Mr. Snow and Doug had polio updates in the, this morning. And so that working with the commissioner, we have 18 talkers, I know, there's like 6 talkers that. But you're gonna have something about that. It was retitling, actually, of the investments and the auction with a distribution marker next to it.
Different
A
qual.
little language is different, no, same qualifications, just a little title tweak that drew in.
Really?
Yes.
Well known. Unidentified with the position.
So we're gonna look at this a bit further as far as
Mayor's office.
promoting titles, and I mean, trying to.
Yeah.
Make the titles fit the points.
I mean, the titles are based, when was the last time? Yeah, when was the last time civil service, we
I know.
did any titles, right? So long ago, even the specs.
Yeah.
So we're trying to look at them all and update the specs to current job requirements and needs, first off, A. And then 2, look at the title. So the Cocker, we would get people applying, not necessarily knowing, but just looking at the name and being like, oh yeah, this looks good. I can do caulking, whatever that means. But in our world, it means it's a specific set of tasks, which limited the real qualifications that came through. So we're trying to, at least visually, when someone looks at an opening, give them a little bit clearer what actually it is. It's a distribution system worker. Great, thank you.
Didn't, the meter reader? I don't think-
No,
That's-
that's
Not the reading.
the spec was weak,
Okay,
but the title remained the same. And to my knowledge, we got 2 processes,
Yeah, so we've got, I don't think I've got the,
should make 6.
yeah, we keep a position by position, exactly how many and what title are open. So Kelly, we track that constantly, so.
any idea what the number is?
It's very similar to the left.
Let me, I'll get the latest.
Bill, heard from one of the remote attendees that they're not picking up the conversation well. If you just speak up a little bit more.
Me?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Not usually on site.
Yeah, yeah.
68%, 93. Yes. And you're focusing on, meter readers and, meter repairs, operational roles, plant operations. And key laboratory.
Any board, any questions on staffing? How heavy lift is it? Civil service.
It's not a heavy lift. It's just, the timing cooperation through with civil service and all the load that they've got, with their kind of some of their issues upstairs, their staffing too. So, kind of getting the sort of the pre-conversation, here's what we're gonna do, great, and then going through the process. So, any spec change does not require, union agreement. So we can change that at will. We reach out to say, hey, here's what we're gonna do just to make sure they're on board with it. I mean, there's no radical changes we're doing, but we've had some back and forth on just even some of the titles. Hey, can we say this versus that with the union? So, not a heavy lift, but there's so many titles to go through that we just have to systematically kind of picking the needs. What are the high needs first, and then, kind of go down from there. So, and water is probably the one that we're trying to do it most effectively on. There are just some titles and some roles that we're not able to fill as a city. from a compensation standpoint, from a retirement standpoint, from a residency standpoint, when you add some of those things together, some of our engineers, and that's specifically in water, we are not able to fill that period. We don't expect to. So we're actually trying to be creative and change titles at times, taking out a senior engineer, maybe junior engineer, taking out junior engineer, making it a project manager. So we're really trying to be as creative as possible. And I think that flavor of being creative is how we're looking at the titles and the specs and the quals, and we do something different just to get the staff up, right? So, yeah, gotcha. Thanks. As that goes along with an answer to a very simple question, sorry, Scott, but just the context of what we're doing.
All right, any other questions on staffing? All right, we're gonna move on to item number 5, which is claims. Peter or Charlie, do you want to address this? Charlie?
Sure, thank you. Charlie Martirana, counsel for the board. I believe you have copies of the resolution. Okay, thank you. So we have a resolution with regard to the settlement of payment of claims. The Corporation Council has negotiated settlements with, I believe it's 6 parties that are identified in Exhibit A. And each one has its own story, which I will not go into. They are basically the fruit of many months, if not years, of negotiation of claims that have been submitted. I'm sorry?
Rob Quinn is available.
Right.
Cell
So-
phone if you need him.
Right, Rob Quinn from the Corporation Council has spoken before, I believe with you in one way or another, and has informed us of the various aspects of these claims. Again, these are amounts that are after everybody is not satisfied. You know, somebody is giving up something, somebody is not receiving as much as they thought they were going to get, but in the end, they're willing to settle and forego any further claim activity and litigation that would be associated with that to save everybody a lot of time and cost associated with it. So accordingly, I would recommend that you approve the resolution, and of course, which indicates that the board, water board, will be paying for these claims out of its monies.
Right, so as Charlie just explained what this claims resolution is, settlement, I'm gonna read through each one of these just for the record. For the Exhibit A, number 1, Rosemary Mescal, $733.50. Robert Hartman, $1,250. Juneteenth Festival, Inc., $15,000. George Loncar, $20,516.70. Federal Insurance and Pacific Indemnity Company, $250,000. And Maria Jawad and Jawad, $9,000. So is there a motion to approve?
My understanding is there will need, and this is a Lisa or Bill question. What will the funding transfer requirement be to pay these claims ultimately? And my understanding was some questions of timing in terms of fiscal years. I just wanted to make sure that we couldn't deliver on our commitment, because ultimately, unless the money's there, I won't be able, because I'm gonna have to coordinate with law and set up the payment to these payees once we get the documentation in. But ultimately, the money will need to be in an account that I can process. So I just have a question. Is there a transfer? Is there an action required by this board for us to follow through? Lisa and Bill, I kind of throw that out there.
It's Bill Ferguson, city accountant. The simple answer is that this will be treated as a fiscal 2025 expense, even though it will be paid in the current fiscal year, but we will accrue it back. I think once the board authorizes the payment of these amounts, I can use that just to pretty much force a journal entry through for fiscal 25. So I don't think we need to make any formal actions as far as transferring funds, because that'll be done as part of the year-end close.
Thank you, Bill. And then I'll just coordinate with you when we ultimately set up the 6 POs.
That sounds good.
W-9s for these peoples.
Not yet. Real quick, the path going forward, because there will be questions from these payees when they get their claim. Once we approve this, I'll coordinate with Laura Kuhn from law. He will then get, I believe, signs from the individuals to say, hey, we basically stopped the claim. This is the settlement. He'll then forward that letter recommendation from law. I'll have the water board minutes. In that letter, he'll have the contact information. I'll work with our office to get a W-9. We have to get their W-9 information. They have to be set up as a vendor on our system. So that'll be the process, but it'll start with Rob and I. I'll get the info from him because he has to process that letter to me. Ultimately, I need that to send as part of the payment, a PO, and then I'll coordinate with Bill ultimately on the account number, et cetera. So we have a path.
And the key piece for the settlement is that there will be a release that will be part of the settlement agreement given to the Buffalo Water Board, City of Buffalo, and so forth. So that
And only to actually that agreement with them before he sends it to us.
so Rob Quinn takes care of that. Basically, here's the money, but give me the release first.
Last night, did you see the money in there?
We'll have to
No.
appeal for the record.
Please mute your
Why-
phone.
Baby, you shouldn't have sent, you should have talked to me before you sent that to them. We don't know. That's our internal back end
Excuse
stuff.
me, who's DLR on the call-in? Could you please mute?
Oh, they're muted now.
Thank you.
We revealed them for the record.
He's probably.
Guest came in just now.
Bill Ferguson, who is the person in your department that sets up the W-9 vendor IDs now?
Just send it to the COB Vin email account.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Mhm.
All right, board, unless there's any other questions regarding the claims,
Just a question, DLR is an outside caller. Should we find out who that is for the record?
yes.
Should we ask to be announced? I'm sorry. Oh, can we?
Yeah.
Oh, Damon. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Who is it?
Damon.
Damon.
All right. Internal.
Running customer service at the same time.
All right.
All right, board, unless there's any other questions for the claims settlement for exhibit A, is there a motion to approve these 6 items here?
Billman will make the motion.
Deb Lombardo will second.
We have a motion and proper second of this settlement schedule. All in favor?
Billman, aye.
Lombardo, I.
Sunderland, aye. All right, thank you, board. All right, we're going to move on to the next item, item 5A, which is the Central Terminal Permanent Easement Resolution. Peter or Charlie?
I will tee this up and let Charlie finish it.
Thank you.
Make a good combination. Pete Merlo, Principal Engineer, DPW, Secretary to the Buffalo Water Board. I'm looking at the plan view, the visual description of the easement. This easement and this, sure.
It's the last page of the easement agreement, if you have that in front of you.
Sorry.
And, very last page. Diagram, the survey that Peter's referring.
This is basically the completion of a process about actually interconnecting some dead end mains on Bryson and so. And we work very closely with the central terminal because the property that we're using to do this is owned by that corporation. We did some work there. We updated a lot of water mains on Memorial. We did a bore on Curtis to reestablish that service. Also, we look to eliminate dead ends anytime we can. Board, we manage dead ends, but dead ends are where the water quality can deteriorate the quickest. Because you only have a one-way feed, so the water's not constantly moving. So if you don't have the proper demand on that, or a time when it's not being used, that water will go stagnant quicker. We monitor that. We know our dead ends. What we do is we'll have to flush the hydrants. We'll have to take them to a sewer. We bring in fresh water, so we monitor that. So this just really helps improve the water quality in the neighborhood. Helps minimize or helps us. Maintenance is one less or 2 less dead ends we have to maintain. And it actually worked out very well because the property was available. If you visualize this, as you go up to the central terminal, there's that street that goes up to it. That's still city prop, or that's their property. It's off to the side in the grassy area over there where we're connecting a couple dead end streets. That's the proposed easement. This allows us to work there. Their board already approved it. Our board actually, we approved this with just final legal approval. But Charlie wanted to bring it back to this board, to update you. This is a new board. But again, this is improving. This has already been installed. We worked with them because we had to get this installed under the last contract, which is ending last November. If we didn't get it installed, the work wouldn't have been done then. And again, it would be just that much longer that the community doesn't realize that benefit. So this is the end of a good story. We're able to get it done on the existing contract as additional services and coordinate the paperwork on the easement. Charlie, anything legally, I think this is just wrapping it up, I believe.
Definitely. Thank you, Peter. Charlie Mardelana, counsel for the board. So the Central Terminal Restoration Corporation has been very helpful. Cooperative. They are willing to enter into this easement agreement at no cost. So there is no monetary cost that the board has to pay. Obviously, it's spending its own money, the board, for doing the work itself in the ground, but no fee, so to speak, to the corporation for doing this. And this is a permanent easement, so that the board will enjoy the access as necessary to go in and repair, replace whatever going into the future. Ideally, that will last for a long time and not have to cause you to go back in. There are the standard provisions with regard to keeping them harmless with regard to your work, not responsible for things that they do wrong by way of their negligence or willful conduct, but otherwise, it's hopefully a harmonious relationship going forward. The water board, by terms of the financing agreement between the board, the city, and the finance authority, will need to refer this now to the city common council because you use city employees and not have both water board employees. We always add the city as a party to these agreements so that the city can freely go in and out of the property as necessary and nobody getting technical and saying, well, no, it's only for the water board. That's part of the rationale. So I wanted to have this memorialized in the resolution that's before you so that we have a document that we can deliver to the city common council for their review. Otherwise, I recommend your approval.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Board, are there any questions regarding this resolution for the permanent easement?
So Charlie, on the last provision on the easement, the surrender,
Right.
can you just walk us through?
Sure. Thank you. It is a bit unusual, but there is a possibility if the water board should ever give it up, that it doesn't need this right anymore, that it would agree to enter into a separation and a discontinuance surrender agreement. And that's basically what this is all about. So, or if it doesn't need all the 20 feet, it would also be willing to give up a portion of it. I think, Peter, you could confirm that is likely never to happen.
Yeah, that won't, I mean, basically that would happen, well, basically you're saying is that neighborhood no longer needs water. It's part of this, as long as it's part of our distribution system, our distribution system has been here over 150 years. We're not going anywhere.
Thank you.
Okay. And it would be voluntary on the part of the city and the water. So there's no obligation to do this going forward.
What are there any other questions regarding this resolution? The hearing now, other questions? Is there a motion to approve the Central Terminal permanent easement resolution?
Emily, I'll make a motion to approve the permanent easement for Central Terminal.
Billman will second.
It's properly moved and second. Hearing no other questions, all in favor?
Emily.
Billman,
Mardeline.
Donovan, aye.
Sunderland, aye. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to item number 6, the monthly report from GHD, Mr. Walvogel.
Good morning, board. Stephen Waldvogel, GHD, excuse me. As you may know, we continue to work in a number of areas on behalf of the board. Most, I guess, importantly of late, we've been working closely with Peter to review the finances from last year, as well as the update to the capital plan so that we can plan for an upcoming sale of debt, so that you can continue moving forward with your capital plans. In addition, we've been working very closely with Lisa Foti, your rate consultant, and we plan to bring some recommendations and a fiscal plan for your consideration at next month's meeting. We've also been doing a number of miscellaneous things. I've been coordinating with the sewer authority on some minor updates to the webpage. And we've been reviewing a number of other things in terms of, you know, operations here. So I'm gonna pause there and turn it over to Dustin unless you have any questions for me. Always happy to take questions here or anywhere else. Okay, Dustin, you have any updates for us? Dustin, we don't hear you. Your Dustin is our field representative, but also helps in terms of many of the activities we do. And currently he's overseeing the electrical upgrades at the Colonel Ward facility and putting the finishing touches on the flood protection project, the resiliency project. I also wanted to take this time just to introduce Jordan. Jordan is an intern with us this summer. She's an engineering student at UB, and she has done a little bit on your behalf. She's been helping us compare your fiscal condition, your rates, your fees with some surrounding communities. And we'll be presenting that to you at the next meeting so you can kind of benchmark against your contemporaries. One last chance for Dustin. Are you there, Dustin? Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. I believe the projects are going well and nearing completion.
Correct.
You know, so that's good news. I guess we'll turn it over back to you, Bill.
All right, thank you, Stephen. The next item is the monthly report from Veolia Water. Mr. Hill?
Thank you, Bill. David Hill, Veolia Water. Wanted to highlight the affordability efforts as we close out this year. We currently have 1,987 customers enrolled in residential affordability program. And that benefits both the customer on the water and oftentimes forget about that. But whatever affordability programs Buffalo Water has, they are sharing. So they have the same. We're managing that, so it's through Veolia and actually works out very well. To date, there's roughly 4,500 customers enrolled in our senior program. Under the Promise Pay program, we have a customers currently, like nearly 87,000 this past month. Past year, 809. Regarding Buffalo Water payment plans, we do have payment plans ourselves. Last month, roll efforts where we replaced customer leasing services, and we replaced 29.
Is that a typical month?
Yes, sir. Roughly, yeah. Drilling down to the plant level, we've been working with staff, city staff, and we've been going through our emergency response plan. Must do that every 5 years. Okay. Actually, we work with Arcadius and develop the risk and resiliency assessment and updated assessment. I'm going to go, but based off that, there were some new findings, so therefore we need to go in and update our emergency response plans. That's the emergency risk and resiliency. So that effort's ongoing. Utility improvements, making some progress there.
Pump stations almost.
This project, which is the installation of a pump station to remove, to basically transfer sludge from the basin to a lagoon. We tested it with water this past week, and it is working. This, project, it's gonna prove to be efficient, and really safer operation. We've got 6 inches of hose, all over the top of the basin. So we got slip hazards, trip hazards. We're lowering heavy loads into the basins. This project, would make this efficient, effective, safe operations. Excuse me, Pat Steen, continuing to do well in the basin. We nearly got that one knocked out. Actually, we would have had it already. We're timing out the pump station. We're kind of working. We got another basin to clean, and I have no doubt it'll be clean. That's the goal. Well, yes. There was some rebid, and Mr. Fultz will be able to address them next month. If we bid the service line replacement, the roll package, and we bid those oils. Okay. Don't have specifics. Still working to repair this 48-inch transmission main over CSX. And the commissioner trying to work his side, and we're just trying to get CSX to get some flaggers out there. That we've done everything, but they can't seem to schedule flaggers. Must be their team to do it. So maybe you need to change the title. Lastly, wanted to mention this one, and I think I did last month, and it's a phone system at Exchange Street. You know, that's a rented building where we do our customer service work, and if there's not generators there, it's not, we've always thought, you know, what happens if something goes down? Biggest concern is the phone system. Been working with the phone provider and nearly at the point of integrating a phone system that will allow us to basically run Exchange Street from anywhere. All we gotta do is grab their laptops. Yeah. Liability perspective, it's awesome. We got train tracks right there. You know, we don't have any backup supply for power, but we will have a plan in the event that that goes down. Appreciate that also. That's it. For the month.
Or do you have any questions for Veolia Water?
You meant the payment plan. How many are on the payment plan again, customers?
Which specific payment?
You said that there was a payment plan, I think it was about 400 and something.
492, yes, sir.
Okay.
Or let's see, find it. Page 3, 472.
Many. Arby?
172.
472.
Yeah. Okay.
And Promise Bay, you said, is also the sewer, right? So.
Yes.
You're done.
Contract. Just short.
Any other questions for Veolia Water? All right, before we adjourn to executive session, next meeting we have on the calendar is Wednesday, August 13th. Or does that kind of work for all of us? Wednesday, August 13th. All right. Bill and or Tim.
Yep.
And then at the next meeting, we'll do the PAA and election of officers and committees.
If you are ready.
Sure. Okay. All right, so at this time, what we're gonna do is we are going to make a motion to go into executive session. And then once we come out of executive session, we will have a motion to come out of the general meeting. So, you know, they'll just be recorded internally what we're doing here. So is there a motion to go to executive session?
Probably not. We have to state purpose.
I'm sorry, for litigation purposes?
Yeah.
That is,
I'll go and make the motion.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hanley, I.
Lombardo, aye.
Sunderland, aye. All right, thank you, everybody else. Thank you, David.
Oh, you're welcome.
The post station's over there. No, it's actually. Then we'll wrap it up.
I picked this up.